Fade in.
I need a username. And I have a great one. Little Kid Lover. That way people will know exactly where my priorities are at.
By the way, he gave me permission to touch him.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
How dare you?
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current-day us.
This is the first time that we see a woman, and the first time that we see a black woman in this area and this world.
But Mrs. Kennedy, Bambi's a baby deer.
Baby deer, put a chick in it, make her gay.
And the kid.
I'm gonna save you guys from the intro. To be honest, the only reason I even did the intro is because I was doing laundry. And I'm really losing my mind today. I swear to God, I don't have enough time to keep up with anything anymore. So like I came home from one of my kids' baseball practices and had like an hour to do laundry, dishes, tidying up around the house, dealing with all sorts of stuff. So I am quickly losing my brain here. Not even kidding. Pronouns, exactly. Hey guys. Hey Moxie. Welcome Raiders. Welcome in. I just got started. Got a lot to go over. Honestly, it's really funny because I didn't have anything prepared until about 20 minutes ago, and then I started like opening up one story after another. I'm like, oh my god, we got a stream. Hey Mari. This came from Based, Foxy, Moxie, Damestream. Very, very based. She probably has more guns than me at this point, to be honest. With the current state of the economy, I might not be adding much to my collection. Oh, guys, have you heard about what my retarded state is doing over here in Washington? They approved it at like midnight the other night because apparently they have to do, you know, their shenanigans while we're all sleeping. Apparently now, moving like into the future here, if I want to purchase a firearm, not only do I have to have like a CPL to carry it, which requires an extensive background check. Not only do I have to go through an extensive background check to purchase one, but now in Washington, you have to get a permit, a purchasing permit. That doesn't even cover like the background check for when you actually go to purchase the weapon, apparently. It's like a red flag permit. Joining Canada, Washington might as well. No, Mari, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Mahendra, too early? What time's in the US? On the West Coast here, it's like 9:40 something. Although, Mari, to be fair, you're on the other side of the world, so we're probably getting our schedules mixed up. Hey, Rabnad. Hey, Ryan. UK Gamer. Who else we got in here? Hook. Good to see you, buddy. Oblivion, as always. Mari and Thousand Men. How are you doing, buddy? Name entry, Nightcore, of course. Alberta, Canada wants to join America. Hey, didn't Justin Trudeau step down? Hang on a second. I think Trudeau stepped down. Yeah, 9:46. Thanks, Thousand Men. I couldn't remember what time it was, to be honest. I'm lucky we even have the stream going at this point. I thought I was going to have nothing ready for tonight. It's even more dumb because there isn't any argument for what they're doing. Dude, it is beyond jacked up. So, not only that, but apparently Washington State is going to try to implement, like, limits to ammunition, excessive taxes for them. It's all jacked up, dude. See, it's Tuesday there. There you go. Mari, I get it. I have somebody who's been subbed to the channel for a little while. She is a Warhammer 40k content creator, and she wants to have me on her channel this week at some point in the next couple of days, but she's in Bulgaria. And so she's 10 hours ahead of me. So now we have to like coordinate schedules. So it'll be like 10 p.m. my time, but 8 a.m. her time the following day. It's all sorts of jacked up. He was supposed to be. Did he not step down? I could have sworn he did. No matter. Anyways, guys, I saw Oblivion's comment about he's been trained to expect a Meta PCs ad. I don't even have any of my stuff brought up to shill anything to you guys today. I'm just going to jump right into the news. Let's go ahead and go full screen here, or at least semi-full screen. But if you guys could remember, make sure to like the stream. If you need instant gaming, check them out down below. Save you some money on your games. The link down below will take you right through my affiliate link. Meta PCs, of course, if you need a new PC. If Alberta joined the US, you would get more federal taxes, plus Alberta can be a big fish in a small pond in Canada. In the US, they're like Maryland. Yeah, that would be a pretty interesting thing to try to figure out, absorbing a Canadian province into the States. The new guy's worse. I know some people were holding out for, what is his name, Pierre Polivier or some French name like that. I can't remember how to pronounce it. It sucks. You know, it really sucks because Canada's had it really rough for a while. And I know that a lot of people have been holding out for better times, but I just don't see Canada going that way. I just really don't. Canada is, I want to say, too much like California. Well, we're going to talk briefly about Amouranth, kind of picking up where we left off from this situation where she was robbed at gunpoint a week ago. And then we're going to jump into the Death Stranding trailer, the reaction to it. There's some news about the Sony title Intergalactic. There is some stuff that's come out about Split Fiction, which is very fascinating because there's a very big disparity on Split Fiction about whether or not the game is woke or whether the game is based, and the discourse around it's pretty retarded. Had a pretty good stream earlier, shook it off just enough to not be weird, and dropped it back into the shorts to carry on my evening. Hey, fantastic. How are you doing, Wild? Let me see here. Canada is West version Pakistan. Oh boy. Oh, that's rough. He's been doing a lot of pandering on X. Dude, everybody panders on X. That's just what it's there for. I actually tried to get a video recorded before the stream covering this whole female-only gym thing in London that's kind of blown up on Twitter because of the fact that this gal that started a gym that she's been crowdfunding for 4 years decided that it was going to be for women only, like biological women, and so all these trans activists are attacking her on Twitter. It's absolutely nuts. I was going to bring it up tonight, but I think there's more interesting stuff to talk about, to be honest. So just kind of picking up where we left off with Amouranth last week, on the same day that these Twitch idiot content creators were harassed in public, said that they were like threatened with their life, and it was, to be sure, probably a scary situation for them, but in my personal opinion, I think they kind of played into it a little too much. Amouranth, this e-thought content creator, formerly, I think she's still on Twitch, but she's got like a kick deal now. Did the redirect work, Moxie? Honestly, I don't even know how to do any of this. I have no idea how you guys have figured it out. I don't know the whole redirecting and rating situation. He would much rather panda than pander, sitting around nibbling on treats all day. Dude, pandas are the most chill animal in existence, okay? Absolutely the coolest animals ever. And it's like they can't get hurt. They fall out of a tree, they roll around like a freaking, I don't even know. It's pretty awesome. Then they attack you for saying that female-only gyms is sexist, but they don't allow men's-only gyms. Honestly, I would love to see a man actually try to pull it off, to make a men's-only gym. And men would still go. Now, here's the thing. Men obviously aren't as threatened by women. So there is that disparity there. But I think men would still go to a men's-only gym. I think that there's definitely a certain demographic that would say, yeah, I don't want to see any women wearing their, like, booty shorts with, like, 90% of their skin showing. I just want to go work out. Me, I just try to stay in my own lane at the gym. I just ignore everybody else. I'm like, I'm just going to like headbang. You guys, you will get a crack out of it. Like, I'm at the gym. I'm like a head shorter than all the other guys. I'm in okay shape, but I'm skinny. I'm an endomorph or ectomorph or whatever with, high metabolism and Crohn's disease. So I have to really work just to maintain weight, right? And I'm over there like headbanging to my music, ignoring everybody else. I'm like, I don't care. I probably look ridiculous. I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's whatever. Men gym would be gay, but oh my god. I don't think a men's only gym would be inherently gay. Do you guys think so? I don't know. Okay, Oblivion, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If there was a gym where women couldn't trick men into glancing at them so they could film them and call them creeps on TikTok, I think there are guys that would go. I think there's enough of these gym bros that don't want to be filmed by women while they're at the gym that they would probably sign up. I don't know. Female-only gyms usually fill with obesity. Yeah, I think I think the idea of gender-separated gyms is probably more commonplace in other parts of the world than it is here in the US. I think over here in the US, we just kind of go, oh, we all just go to the same gym. But it does lead to a lot of like really awkward situations. 27 watching and 13 likes. Can we get 13 people watching and 27 likes instead? I'm just kidding. Don't leave. Anyways, so I'm sure most of you are already sick and tired of hearing about her by now. Amouranth was robbed at gunpoint. A lot of people said it seemed faked. She had to run across her house from one side to the other. Her husband was waiting. Again, the husband who allegedly was abusive and forced her to do OnlyFans. She wanted to give it up, but he wouldn't let her. All this stuff. This came out like 2 years ago that she was being like forced by her husband to do something she didn't want to do, right? So then, of course, they had this robbery last week where she was robbed at gunpoint. She claimed that she shot at some of the invaders when they ran off. Apparently, it was her husband who was waiting at the stairs around the corner. We're going to go into detail because she did an interview tonight with Aiden Ross on Kick. And then there was some very disgusting stuff that's come out about her OnlyFans we're going to get into briefly after that. So, Scamouranth. Ryan, I was back a week ago saying, based on the video footage, based on the fact that the police were called, based on the fact that all the evidence was lining up, it seemed legitimate. Now I'm starting to have my questions, right? Get her husband to do OnlyFans. I don't think anybody wants to see that. Okay, so Oblivion, I think the whole abusive husband thing was faked. If those TikTokers think that natural look is perverting, they have no idea what a real stare here by certain... Oh, for real. No, Mari, I'm sure you've seen it. If you, Jay Swole, the big bodybuilder guy he's on TikTok and Twitter and stuff. He talks about it all the time. He's like, you're filming other people in the gym, trying to get them to look at you so you can shame them. You're a horrible person, you know? Visa on OnlyFans, Visa on legal anime. No. Hey, Geek, how's it going, buddy? It's all marketing? I feel like it is. So, 5 o'clock tonight, she was like, I'm going to clear some things up, going live. And then, of course, these clips started emerging. So this is her and her husband. Yes, her husband has a face reveal now. And he looks exactly like you would imagine it, right? Okay, let me rephrase that. If he was some big, mean, abusive asshole forcing her to do this, I would have imagined he would have been like, 6.5 feet tall, covered in tattoos, bald maybe, mean-looking guy, right? Hey, Vernum. And Lugia, you didn't miss much. We're just talking about Amouranth and this whole thing, because now she's done an interview about this event that happened, right? Well, hey, Vernum, aren't you in the UK or Germany? Right? Somewhere over there. So I'm just going to play this. You guys can listen to them for yourselves, because this is very interesting stuff here.
Times, and I was just thinking, you know what? I'm just going to run and lead them to where crypto could be, because they're just going to keep hitting me if I don't. Right. And I might actually die. Right. And so I was just said, oh, I know where it is. Well, hold on, I'll take you there. You can have all of it. And so I...
Looks like he might be good at math. Oh my God.
I was leading them. I went downstairs and I went out to the driveway and I just ran across to the lounge where he was. And I went up the stairs. There's like an L stairs. So they can't see him until they're already within line of sight. And he told me to get down. And so I like hugged the side of the wall, and he shot 3 bullets right past me, and shot the guys actually.
Insane. That's, I mean,
somewhere over there.
Like, I'm having chills just listening to this, and this is just so fucking insane. And I mean, the first question I'm gonna ask: are you okay? Like, how do you feel emotionally? Like,
all right, so that's the first clip there. Yeah, she seems a little too excited, like, might actually die. I mean, like I said before, talking about the Twitch girls that were out at, like, the Santa Monica Pier or whatever, and they had that one little Thai guy who was chasing them around, and they're like, oh, there was like 7 of us, and we were all afraid we were going to die because this one little guy, right? These are people that even if they're being genuine, their entire life is so produced and faked that even if they're being genuine, it's going to come across as fake, right? Oh, her husband talks. He talks. So this is from somebody who's a clip creator from XQC. Says, LSF is not convinced. I don't know who that is. Is this the same husband that apparently abused her for years? Shit is so awkward. 0 proof provided. These people are weirdos. So Nick, I guess is her husband, reveals that the police have arrested 1 out of the 3 robbers. The whole thing would be solved sooner rather than later. I'm just gonna go ahead and play this one now.
General, so.
Did they find whoever did this?
So the reason why we're even able to talk about it today is because we got an okay finally from the detective on the case. The only thing we're allowed to say, because it's already technically public, is they arrested one of the guys today.
Good.
But we think, from what we've heard, that this whole thing will be solved sooner rather than later. One of the things is that, like,
General, so.
Well, if that's true, if this is a real case and it's ongoing and there was one of the guys who was arrested, yeah, they'll have it solved pretty fast. These kind of guys, they'll flip on each other in no time. Nick discusses his experience preparing to potentially end the robbers' lives.
right?
All right.
I heard all of that, and then I heard, you know,
live stream fails. Okay.
them walking up and then yelling their demands, and for a lot of
Ryan, I feel that way very heavily. Of all people, they went to Aiden Ross. Again, Aiden Ross is somebody who I absolutely cannot stand. I have no respect for. I will never get the video clip of him walking over when Andrew Tate left the room and sniffing that man's seat out of my mind. That whenever I see Aiden Ross, that's the first thing I think of, because that's like the first clip of Aiden Ross I've ever seen in my entire life. So for me personally, I have no respect for the man.
that, I'm just hearing it on speakerphone, and I'm like, the structure over, right? And so that gave me just a little bit of time to kind of gain some composure. And luckily I had a gun nearby. And, you know, the rest was her quick thinking, because my only thing was I was going to charge across and, you know, do a 3v1 essentially.
Holy
which,
shit.
you know, isn't great odds. But luckily, still on the phone, she started saying, okay, I'll take you to where the crypto is. Yeah. Right, where the cold storage device or whatever they're after is. And that's when I realized, oh, she's gonna take them here. And so my best move is to kind of be ready and, you know.
So again, the only reason I lean against it being fake is because she claimed and he claimed, you could see on the video, one of the guys saying I got shot. They claimed there was blood spatter on the ground, so obviously if there was, the police would have been able to corroborate that, and if they didn't corroborate that, they probably would have come out a week ago and said that none of this actually happened. So I'm not saying this didn't happen, but I'm starting to feel like things are sketchier than I originally thought, right? No way this K-pop singer doesn't know that. I mean, he really dressed up for this, didn't he? If there was a word to describe his outfit right now, it's metrosexual. And I know a lot of like Zoomers don't know what metrosexual is. Back in the early 2000s, for us millennials, metrosexual was like those straight guys who had the fashion of gay men, right? Let me see. Don't want someone sniffing your seat? No, at least, dude, if you do it, don't film it. Don't get caught doing it. That's all I can ask. Yeah, why not go to a reputable person? I don't know. Maybe a reputable person wouldn't talk to him. I have no idea. Yeah, Mahendra, my only problem is I understand that under all that makeup and possible plastic surgery, Amouranth could still be a somewhat attractive person. I'll give her that. But I don't know. There are plenty of decent looking women out there who aren't OnlyFans models, who aren't going to bring this level of heartache and drama into your life. And sure, they have financial means, obviously, but I mean, you can't buy happiness, right? The OG closet gays, I don't think the metrosexuals were, well, maybe they were. Maybe they were closeted gays. Oh my God. Her dogs didn't react either. Okay, well, not every dog is an attack dog. My dog barks the minute he hears anything, but if some stranger walked into my house, he wouldn't attack him. I mean, just because he barks doesn't mean he wants to attack him. He just doesn't know what the sound is of the person that, you know, who's moving around out there. Yeah, she's got fake booba. Yeah. No, the video, guys, when they're running across from the house to the room where the husband was, the part of the house where the husband was, yeah, there's dogs barking. They're kind of milling around, but they're not like big pit bulls or Rottweilers, guys. They're just dogs. Not every dog attacks somebody. I've had plenty of dogs in my life that bark, bark, bark. They don't attack a soul. You know, that it's not every dog is going to be a guard dog like that. Balloons under the bra, exactly. Yeah, I'm not a fan of silicone. Just saying, not my thing. There's one more clip too that was from Drama Alerts. And this one I think is a different segment. We could be repeating ourselves. Let me play this one and see.
Hey.
Can you
Oh no. This is the actual intro right here.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up, Amouranth's husband? Nice to meet you.
Hi, how's it going?
You're a real warrior. You're a good husband, man. You know, you were brave that night. Good shit.
You guys probably can't see his pants, but he is like fully decked out. I don't know what the watch is. He's got some big ass watch on his wrist. He's got the slacks, the little dress shoes. I don't understand. He's got to be like, did he dress up for this stream? Freaking Aiden Ross is in a t-shirt. Like, what the hell, man?
You know, everyone says that, but really, I credit her with saving both of our lives because, like, look, put myself in her shoes. I don't know if I'd be clear thinking enough to stay calm and to, you know, formulate a plan and to basically lead them.
Nice pendant
to
he's
where,
got there.
You know, someone might have a firearm or who can help. Right?
Yeah, he is very much like a hipster.
Right. Because, like, you know, a lot of people make a big thing about how, oh, well, you know, she doesn't have scars or whatever. It's like, you know, they were pistol whipping her. And so she called me when it happened. And we can go into the story in a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I was actually on the phone with her when they shot the door twice and then kicked it in. Right.
All right.
I heard all of that. And then I heard, you know, them walking up and then yelling their demands. And for a lot of that, I'm just hearing it on speakerphone, and I'm like, the structure over, right? And so that gave me just a...
So I have far less doubt that this happened. I'm sure that the robbery happened. I'm starting to doubt that he's actually her husband. A lot of you guys were saying, like, she rented a husband for this. Yeah, I'm starting to think that she rented somebody to stand in as her husband for this video. Like, it's far more likely than that the robbery was staged. I don't know. But, all right, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, she's more or less revealed her husband, right? So, okay, we have a face to put with the person who was supposedly a year and a half ago this evil, mean, psychotic abuser who wouldn't let her quit her job and who was making her make content. Maybe it's true, but they just embellished the shit out of it. Well, Oblivion, I'm going to make you rethink that theory. Okay, I'm gonna make you rethink that. Pistol whipping's a myth? Okay, so while I was on the fence saying, you know, okay, I think that this did happen, maybe some of the details were kind of sketchy, apparently people are posting on Twitter. Now, I have not verified this. I'm not gonna go verify it for myself. I believe, based on the amount of screenshots I've seen, that this is a real thing. This apparently is from her OnlyFans, okay? Unlock for $50. This week, I almost died. Nearly losing my life made me rethink my perspective on what I'm doing here, and I'm changing my approach. I'm like, okay, wait a second. She's actually done with OnlyFans, right? She's finally done. She's moving on. She's gonna... I was saying a week ago when they were going after her, she's gonna start her trad wife conservative influencer trajectory, right? I'm done gatekeeping. It's time I finally give you what you've always wanted. Okay? I'm gonna zoom in, because if I open the picture, I don't think it's gonna be large enough to read. You guys reading this for yourselves? Because I'm not gonna read it out loud. If you're watching the stream, you can read this, because I'm not. So apparently, to celebrate not dying, she's had a change of heart, and it wants to change her content, or do things she's never done before. So unsub from another girl, send me proof, and I'll resend this for half off. Again, I'm not going to go check and see if this is a real post. I don't want to see it. At this point now, I'm going to imagine it is, because I've seen a lot of people sharing this around, and I'm like, all right, so was this all staged? Was it all for clout? Is it something where she's just trying to capitalize on a bad thing that happened to her? I don't know. I don't want to know. How is this making me doubt her less? I don't know, man, but I'm just over here like, what the actual hell? Like, how did we get to this point? This is her "this week I almost died" post. Here, I'm gonna spread eagle for you. Yeah, guys, I just don't know. I don't understand how we got here. I don't. Here I was thinking it was going to be one thing when I started reading it. Why do people pay so much? Because, Avernum, I'm telling you, this is what the girls... Hey, Wolverine! These are what the girls who sell themselves out for $5 a month on OnlyFans don't understand. If you're a attractive or an above average looking woman, you can make just as much money or more by teasing and not putting it all out there. But most of them think that they have to do that in order to like compete with the girls like Amouranth, right? So the thing about Amouranth is she probably has always done this where she doesn't go full Monty. I don't know. I've never subscribed to her. I don't know. I'm guessing that if this is a new thing, she's never had to. So either she's losing business now and she feels like she needs to do this to like regain business, or she's just trying to capitalize on it, right? Oh, we're cooked, man. Geek, we are so cooked, it's not even funny. Seeming like some weird 100th or 10th anniversary sale kind of shit, right? It's strange. It's very, very strange. I think it's possible that she maybe lost subscribers. I don't know. The last life-threatening situation I was in, I was so relieved when it was all said and done. I thought to myself, who... Okay, so there are reasonable ways to do that. That girl that you never called, or that person you never had the guts to ask out, or whatever. Like that message, that email that you never hit send on, or that text message you were too scared to hit send, right? So maybe you come back from a harrowing experience and you're going to take a chance, whatever. But to do this, I don't know. It seems entirely sketch. Oh my god, I just closed out the Death Stranding 2 trailer. We were going to watch that next. Hang on, let me get this brought up here. Oh, by the way, I trimmed the beard a little bit. Not that you guys care. My wife was telling me I look homeless, so I trimmed up the sides a little bit. I want to get it nice and long. I just don't want it to be like going crazy on the sides. So it's the struggle. Beard struggle is very, very real. All right, dude, this Death Stranding 2 trailer is insane, the amount of views it's gotten. And I get it, the first game was a very big title. I had a lot of dislikes on my video for some reason. I wasn't even criticizing the game, but whatever. But this trailer has like blown up. The Kojima account has like 1.6 million views. Hang on a second, where are we at here? That says Kojima Productions. Is that the right one? That's not the right one, but we'll just... I think that's in Japanese. Hang on. We'll play the PlayStation one. Here we go. Hopefully there's not copyrighted music on this. I didn't listen to it with the audio on. All right. Let's go back to the other screen. Yeah, I never really understood the appeal for the gameplay either. Like I said, I didn't have a PlayStation when the first one came out. Don't have a PlayStation now, but I have a copy of the first game on Epic. I might play it at some point. I heard from a lot of people it was basically like a walking simulator where the wrong move and you're going to tip over, which to me is like, okay, not a whole lot of fun. Kojima's beyond overrated, just make a movie and get out of video games. I feel like that's a legitimate, like, complaint. I get that. I truly get that. Women are looked at being less desirable if they're married. That's really sad. Let me see. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is DRM free, coming March 28th to GOG. I already own it though, but that's cool. Ubisoft struck Smash for leaking a leaked video. So I was noticing that Smash was talking about something where he is being copyright struck by Ubisoft. I didn't realize that that actually was a thing because I saw Hypnotic say the same thing. I'm like, this must be like a gag, right? Like both these guys are like, oh, Ubisoft copyright struck me. Kojima's releasing a $1.5 thousand watch with this game. Holy crap. Recently trimmed a couple of inches off my beard and nobody said anything, much regret now. It'll grow back, for real. Not my type of game. But we'll just kind of play through the trailer. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit so we can talk about it as we watch it. But again, I know a lot of people are big fans of the game. I think mostly Sony, like PlayStation fans.
Guilty of illegally entering our country on multiple.
Smash and Hypnotic both.
The only thing that I'm guilty of is doing your dirty work. And by way of compensation.
Deborah Wilson, the video game.
Bring it on, because I'm not doing this shit anymore. What makes you think you have a choice?
What kind of cargo?
Cargo like
Brain dead.
pregnant women.
No one would possibly allow that.
That's why I have to smuggle them in.
Two things Ubisoft could have done: go after the original leaker or go after everyone. They chose the latter. See, I haven't even seen the leak that you guys are talking about. If Blu-ray was here, I'd tell him to DM it to me. I don't know if you've DM'd me on Twitter or not, Oblivion, but if you have it on Discord, you can send it to me on Discord. First was a post-apocalyptic delivery simulator. This one, on the other hand, is a proper Kojima fever dream. Yeah, I remember the first one was a lot more of like the delivery simulator where you're carrying stuff on your back and you got the baby on your chest and shit falls over really easy.
They make me bring them over from Mexico.
Mexico's a thing in this game?
This thing between us.
Hey, Anonymous.
It was a mistake.
No, it was not a mistake. It was not a mistake.
Well, that's the thing about, okay. Prime example is somebody like the girl that plays Ellie on Last of Us on the live action, right? That girl got cast in that role and is raised in Hollywood and is, again, the right, non-binary, left-leaning, left-wing politics and everything else because she's completely a byproduct of Hollywood. What's her name? Can you help me out here, babe? What's her name? You don't remember her name? Bella Ramsey, thank you. Thank you. So Bella Ramsey is the prime example of kind of like the Deborah Wilson situation where somebody who's so unfortunately awful looking, you can't help but kind of laugh when you see them get roles in movies and TV shows and whatnot. But in real life, you wouldn't go out of your way and be like, damn, you ugly. You treat them like anybody else because that's what respectable people do. Doesn't mean you can't kind of have a chuckle and you go, oh my God, this is the most unfortunate looking face I've ever seen in my life, right? 10-minute long trailer, yeah. That and something else I complained about in my video, I'm sure I struck a nerve with a lot of people. I don't love how video games cast actors that are recognizable actors and put them in the game. I would much rather play Link or Master Chief or any other character where you don't see their face or it's a face of somebody you've never seen before than somebody recognizable like Norman Reedus. That makes it feel more like a movie. Again, that's that crossover between movies and video games where you go, okay, is this a movie or is it a game, right? If Ellie Page didn't change her gender, she would be cast as Ellie. No, actually, I heard the girl they have playing Abby in season 2 was their first pick for Ellie, but she was busy filming something else. So that's where they settled on Bella Ramsey. That might not be true, but that's what I've seen, around online. Oh yeah, the collector's edition, we're going to talk about that too. Well, even if they're likable, I mean, I kind of feel the same way. Like we all complain about Zendaya being in every movie. As much as most of us here, I assume, love Henry Cavill, right? Henry Cavill's awesome guy, great actor as far as like the roles he's been in. I don't want Henry Cavill to be in everything. He can't fix every bad script in every bad movie. Still a better choice than the new Snape actor, yeah. Geek, I don't think that is an unpopular opinion. again, I can't speak from experience because I've never played the first game. Like I said, I have a copy of it. I've never played. I can't speak from any experience on it, but just looking at the, let's go to more of like the gameplay and the cinematics from this trailer, right? I'm probably gonna have to mute this. I have to mute this, I'm sure, because I'm sure this is gonna get copyright claimed. You got more of the walking, right? More walking, more walking, more walking. If they didn't hire so many trash DEI actors, we'd have replacements by now. But here's the thing, Black Cat, and that's very true. And it's unfortunate because both Hollywood is full of like left-wing ideologue DEI, infested actors. Look at what's going on. Why is it like with Doctor Who and the actor who's playing Snape and everybody else, especially with these black men, these black British men, they're all like non-binary, effeminate guys. Why is it always these feminized men getting roles? Well, again, that kind of goes to the DEI thing where they want not just black, but black and gay or black and female. It's all the same shit. Hey, big ship. So in that respect, it's very much the same thing with, again, voice actors. Most voice actors are left-wing ideologues and progressives and activist-minded. And so when you get roles like this, even if the role itself is not leaning left-wing, you're still going to get mostly people who fill these roles who are actively activists in other things that they do, you know? Girl playing Abby in Last of Us 2 is the youngest daughter from Tim Allen's show Last Man Standing. Oh, that's where I recognized her from. I never really watched it much, but I thought I recognized her. Everyone's scared of showing a public video. Oh no. So Big Ship, yeah. The only thing you missed is that Amouranth decided to celebrate not dying by spreading eagle for OnlyFans. Is apparently the thing. People like Matt Walsh are why the right lost the entertainment industry. Dude, I have a clip or a Matt Walsh tweet that I have saved that we're going to bring up later tonight. It's like you're reading my mind because you're 100% correct. And this is something that George Alexopoulos, G Prime, that does a lot of like the animations, cartoons and stuff on Twitter, that he constantly complains about Matt Walsh about. Is the fact that Matt Walsh will be like, oh, the arts are stupid, they're a waste of time, get a real job. And I agree. We need more electricians, we need more plumbers, we need more practical people in the trades, not trying to be some content creator full time, not trying to do all these things. You need people that have real world, actual experience that can benefit society and again, make money, put money in your pockets over people who just want to have like some dream job they'll never get. However, if you give up on the arts entirely, you're never going to have anything artistic. You're going to have nothing of value in the arts themselves, right? Kojima game will sell because hot, beautiful women. There's not exactly a whole lot of, I don't know. From what I've seen in this trailer, there's like one pretty woman. I think it's, well, we're going to come up on the cast here in a second. Yeah, that, not that gal. Not him. He's hideous. This gal, Ellie Fanning, she looks fine. This guy kind of looks like, what's his face? Joker from Suicide Squad. And then, of course, we get to Deborah Wilson, everyone's favorite. And again, I say again, this is not the situation where you would go out of your way if this person was somebody that you met in public to tell her how hideous you thought she. No, it's just, she's just another human being. Obviously, if you go off of the things that she said, her vocal support of like the LGBT community, you know where she leans as far as like her own politics and beliefs and stuff. Fine, that's like 90% of Hollywood. Who cares? This one will sell because there's a female Samuel Jackson, right? Yes, Deborah Wilson is in. Okay, I did this in my video talking about Death Stranding last night or this morning when it came out. Deborah Wilson has been in 320 different things that she's credited for. I think it's 320 different things. Somewhere like that. Buffering. What, my stream's buffering? Why she got two right hands? That's probably a Kojima thing, guys. That is probably some weird Kojima thing. Get another black woman? Exactly. Matt Walsh is the youngest boomer alive. What's scary is I think Matt Walsh is like in my age bracket. Isn't he like a millennial? I'm pretty sure he's too young to be Gen X. I think he's in that like late 30s to early 40s category. Fragile's hot, but she gets killed. Oh no! Don't care about her politics, I'm just sick of seeing her. No, I'm explaining more why I think she gets the roles that she does. That's more what it is. Matt Walsh wasn't around the early 1900s when New York City Jews stole Thomas Edison's video camera. I can't believe that didn't get censored. That's crazy. All right. So I don't think we need to go through too much more of the trailer. Again, it's really funny. As somebody who doesn't understand a lot of stories, like the Dark Souls games, unless you get really into the lore, you're kind of lost. Same with Elden Ring because it was so convoluted. I kind of feel the same way watching a trailer for Death Stranding. I was like, I can't really pay attention to what's going on. I have no idea what's going, like the real, what I'm seeing, right? It's like a fever dream. But that being said, I can kind of respect it for that, but I do get the criticisms people have where it's like, okay, am I playing a video game or is it a movie, right? Walsh is in his late 30s. He's my age. Holy crap. Dude is my age and he acts like he's 90 years old. That's pitiful. Wow. Everyone started doing freeze frames and play music over them. Then reactions started getting a lot of traction. I think they realized that they want people to see it. Just watch video games with popcorn. That was like playing Hellblade 2. Okay, and Hellblade 1 had its own fair share of walking and cutscenes. But the game was still interesting and well done. Whereas, again, the second game, not a chance. Not even close. Let me see. Are my alerts turned on? I don't know, my alerts aren't working, but thanks for the 2, Luigi. I'll read it myself. I think Deborah Wilson is failing up in her career. Yeah, I would say you're right about that. And again, this is not even like anything to judge her acting talent or say that she can't act. It's not about that. It's more the fact that it's like, why do you keep saying the same person in the same movies over and over and over and in the same games? Matt Walsh Mahendra he works for the Daily Wire. He's a right-wing political commentator. How come Steam allows YouTube links? Do they? I'm not sure. I mean, you mean like on the Steam forums or what? So anyways, we have this Death Stranding 2 reveal. Looks pretty cool if you're into the games. That's, you know, whatever. But now apparently, I think Ryan brought it up, you have this collector's edition, which is insane. So pre-orders go live on March 17th with all the editions receiving 3 different in-game skeletons and a custom Quokka hologram. I have no idea if I'm saying Quokka properly or not. Kojima Productions' Death Stranding 2 on the Beach has a release date with pre-orders going live on March 17th. The standard edition costs $70. Oh boy. Why are we in a world where $70 is the new, like, standard? You know, Lugia, I like half of Matt Walsh. I like Matt Walsh when he's talking about politics and talking about, like, the transgender issues, talking about social issues like that. Unfortunately, Matt Walsh massively misses the mark on entertainment and the arts. And it's just sad because he has such a big platform. And again, we talk about this. Conservatives really have everything going for them as far as momentum and the platforms that they have. And it's like you're missing the mark on capturing the audience that you could have. I mean, Daily Wire put out that horrible cartoon that already got canceled. I can't remember what the name of that cartoon was, but they had Adam Carolla on there and a few other people. And it's like, yeah, it was terrible. Nobody wanted to watch it, right? Because the game owners give Steam the rights to use the videos no matter what the source is. Oh, there you go. So yeah, Lucia, it's not that I hate Matt Walsh. I don't hate Matt Walsh. I think he does decent work for what he does. I just find it unfortunate that we miss the opportunities that we have to reach out to people that wouldn't necessarily want to sit and watch a 45-minute lecture from somebody who looks like their dad, you know? Bring on creatives, bring on people that actually know how to capture, you know, the minds of people who are, you know, maybe like-minded but feel like they're ostracized because they do like anime or they do like video games, you know? Get somebody who can relate to them. Matt Walsh is online too, yeah. Okay, so let's see. Of course, there's a digital deluxe version for $80, which includes Battle Skeleton Gold levels 1 through 3. They repeated themselves. And Baka Skeleton. Players also get 3 patches and early use of the machine gun. Finally, there's the collector's edition, which costs $230 and includes a collector's box, a 15-inch statue of Magellan Man, the fusion of the DHB Magellan with a massive BT, Doll Man figurine, and art cards. All the above items are included alongside a letter from Kojima himself. Despite this being a physical package, the game is a digital download. Oh boy, I need my soundboard right now. Digital download for a $230 collector's box. I thought Avowed was bad because their collector's box, which I think was like $130, had a digital download, no physical game, but at least you get the stupid mask you could, display or whatever. $230 for air, for nothing. Yeah, DB, when I said capturing, I didn't mean it like that. I meant like actually, capture their attention span. Capture is a bad word to use. Physical discs are dead. Look, I can't complain about it because I don't use my disk drive. I took it out of my computer because I thought I could save space by not having cables plugged into it, right? So I'm as guilty as everybody else. But unfortunately, oh no, everything is woke and gay, apparently it looks like. They want you to spend twice collector's edition and standard edition. Yeah. Reason Steam's love, they earned it. My standard is $40. Anything above that just isn't worth it when they forgot how to write a story or optimize the engine. Yes, 100%. And here's the thing. It would be great if we could live in a world where you had the option when you purchase a game through Steam of maybe paying one price for digital and one price for digital plus physical, where you could buy the digital version and have them mail you a physical copy. Because, come on, let's be honest. Physical copies don't cost anything to make. It's all about taking the time to put them in stores and everything else. If Steam had a warehouse where all they did was had 1 million copies of games just kind of sitting there waiting to be fulfilled and shipped out, it wouldn't take that much. I mean, honestly, you could even automate the damn thing. You'd need minimal manpower, and you could just have two prices. You could have digital or digital plus physical, like people do with comics and, web comics and stuff, and just have them ship out the physical version to people who truly want to have it on physical, 1%, so that's cool. Once physical media's gone, we're really screwed. I mean, you're not kidding there. You're not wrong. And like I said, unfortunately, I am as guilty as anybody else who plays games on PC that I am not spending more time seeking out and trying to buy games physically on discs because the convenience. But the convenience will stop being a thing when we no longer are able to, own our own games, right? That's the whole Ubisoft thing. You'll own nothing and be happy. I have ODD in my PC and I only buy physical. Well, then Oblivion, then you're a better man than I am, because unfortunately for me, I am so lazy when it comes to it that I've kind of given up on even trying to acquire physical media when it comes to games. And then it's like DVDs and Blu-ray and all that. Hell, I can't remember the last time I bought a Blu-ray. I mean, everything now is on streaming or on cable, and it's like, well, we don't own anything. It just sucks. So yeah, the memes are there. A lot of people pointing out that Deborah Wilson is just getting to be where people are just sick and tired of seeing her. And of course you have people like this saying, getting angry that Deborah Wilson gets work is like getting angry that Troy Baker gets work, that both of them are well-tenured voice actors. Although here's the one thing I'll say. Troy Baker in this game, Death Stranding 2, plays a character again that looks like the Joker from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, or, freaking Jared Leto's Joker. He looks like really exaggerated and effeminate with like eyeliner and shit. Deborah Wilson looks like Deborah Wilson. So maybe it's not so much that people are tired of her having work or hearing her voice, it's the fact that you're tired of seeing her. There's a big difference there. When I buy games on GOG, I back them all up to jump drives, USBs, or an external. I know, but it's not exactly the same thing as having physical, but at least that's a better option to have. Especially for games that don't require you to be connected to the internet to play. Being able to watch movies without ads pays for itself. Ryan, I am cheap. I actually pay for the with ad version of like the stuff that I watch because I'm too cheap to bother. I'm not going to spend an extra $15 a month or extra $20 a month to avoid ads. I grew up with having very little TV, My TV experience growing up was shit. We had like 5 channels. They all had commercials. Most of them were all grainy, and we had to use rabbit ears to make the TV work. So for me personally, I don't care if I have to watch ads on a movie or a TV show or whatever. You bought a DVD last week? Oh, man. I mean, I have my Xbox plays Blu-rays. I've got a Blu-ray player in my room. I have the ability to. It's just a matter of so many of us don't. It's just, I don't know if it's pure laziness or complacency or the sheer convenience of it outweighs the feeling that we need to own things. I don't know. They've got us by the balls, though. I'll say that. Okay, so another one I just want to touch on briefly. This is a very not big story here. Oh, their alerts are working now.
How much you care. It is like this tangible thing that you can point to and say, hey man, I love you. This many dollars worth.
Hot take. Prices ain't going to matter anymore because prices will drop later on. I spent a shoot 'em up game for $100 and it was worth it.
$100 for a shoot 'em up game. Holy crap. I mean, I get it. I've spent full price on games a couple times. Most of the time I wait for a sale or try to get it very, very cheap. But I get it. There are games that we are willing to spend money on, like Elden Ring, Black Myth Wukong. These are games I paid full price. Games I even pre-ordered because I was confident the games would be good. And thanks for the 5, Lucy. I appreciate it, dude. $100 though. This is the thing. I saw XQC was talking about it, about how people are complaining about how Grand Theft Auto is going to be $100. But he's like, but you'll spend $300 on cosmetics in a game. I won't. Like I've said before, when I played Apex Legends back before it got super gay, and now that my kids occasionally will play it or Fortnite or whatever, we spend $0 on microtransactions in this house. No game, no free-to-play game in my household is getting any money out of anybody in this house. The exception to that was when I was really playing Warframe about 3 years ago. I bought a couple like storage slots for my frames, and that was it, like $10. So I don't think you can say that just because one person is willing. I mean, look, there are people for CSGO that will spend thousands of dollars on cosmetics, okay? The average person won't do that. The habit's been broken? Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. The last time I watched a new movie was when I still had a healthy intestine. Oh boy. Nowadays, only anime every once in a while and reading web and light novels or watching the old classics. You know, Vernon, I feel you there. My intestines are as healthy as they can be for having Crohn's. But yeah, I don't watch a lot of movies. My wife and I are currently watching the new Daredevil series, and so far the first 2 episodes have been very disappointing. Very much not what I was hoping it would be. And other than that, I don't get around to watching much movies or TV. You know, it's a time factor. I don't want to take the time to watch bad television. What's the point? Oh boy, the poor Seahawks. My son is devastated. The Seahawks and the Mariners are just doing terrible moves right now. Really awful. Oh man. Let me see here. Well, yeah, it's Disney. There's no question there, man. DVD players and Blu-ray players are common in consoles. DVD and Blu-ray players are still cheap to buy. I mean, that's the thing. Like I said, my Xbox plays Blu-rays, so I don't even need to buy another player. But apparently Nexus mods, I don't know if this is a new thing or not, because Pirate Nation just shared this. From 9 hours ago, it says Nexus mods banned USA flags and others in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Apparently there was a mod that allowed you to put the US flag and subsequent flags in New York. Now the mod is not found. I don't think this was the mod out the gay flag and put in the American one, because I remember a couple of years ago they had an issue where they were taking out the pride flag and replacing it with an American flag, and they said you can't do that. But of course, they still have the one where you can put the pride flag in instead of the American flag. Very interesting, very curious. We need a better option for Nexus mods, and I know that there are other websites, but I don't think they have the level of modding that Nexus has available as the thing. Let's see. White Lotus is decent, although it's more for women. I've heard about White Lotus. I don't know if I'm ever going to get around to watching that. Been rewatching Battlestar Galactica. I never watched Battlestar Galactica. Never actually got into that. Take care of your equipment? Yeah, no kidding. I know that there's alternatives, Mahendra, but from what I'm seeing is they're just not prevalent enough. Yeah, don't even talk to me about the Seahawks, okay? The Seahawks or the Mariners. Seattle sports are in really bad shape right now. It's not even funny. And I loosely follow the Seahawks. My son is more of the football guy. I watch baseball. For me, baseball is a classic way to, just kind of chill in the afternoon, have a beer, especially if you're home from work and you can just enjoy the sunshine, that kind of thing, I'm not reading your comments, Mahendra. I did too. You said there's already alternatives, and I said that there are, but they're not as well known. I'm reading your comments. Oh, I see. Okay, you had one. Physical disc becomes useless if DVD driver is no longer working because DVD lens gets dirt, which cut. Yeah, well, that's why you got to take care of your equipment, like Ryan said. Baseball versus cricket. I would not watch cricket instead of baseball. Not happening. Yeah, I mean, I never really got into Battlestar Galactica. That's something I should probably actually try to watch. All right, so we have some information, recent information about Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, talking about Deborah Wilson and strong, bald, independent women. Apparently, Intergalactic, the new Naughty Dog game from Neil Cuckman, is going to be set 2,000 years in the future, which is why everything looks like the 80s. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay. Alternate universe where the timeline deviates from ours in the 80s. That's why. So 2,000 years after the 80s and things still look like the 80s, but it's an alternate universe. That doesn't even make any sense. Cricket's more popular sport than baseball. Not in the US, it's not. Nexus is like Steam, almost a monopoly, yeah. Mysterious new religion forms around this time and starts to take hold. I bet you it's going to be something to do with like MAGA. Just watch. Naughty Dog spent years working on the timeline and how the religion changed throughout the years. Naughty Dog's previous games have always had an ally companion, so they wanted you to feel lost and alone in a mysterious universe this time. I really wanted to make a game about faith and religion, but also about being lonely. Oh boy. No one has been heard from on this planet for 600 years. Neil Cuckman specifically calls out Half-Life 2 and the Monkey Island games as some of his favorite examples of storytelling. Mentions the fact that Half-Life 2 has less hand-holding and trusts the player to put together the pieces themselves. Neil jokes, with The Last of Us 2, we made certain creative decisions that got us a lot of hate. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hated it. The joke is, you know what, let's do something that people won't care as much about. Let's make a game about faith and religion. Ha ha ha. We still have a ways to go. And of course, if you're not remembering, it's this game here with this lovely woman that they turned into a man. Again, another LGBT activist, hardcore feminist from Hollywood. You messed up your first sentence. If we truly wanted physical media in an SD card style format, something that looks like Nintendo Switch cartridges. Oh, sorry, if we wanted to try physical, we can't rely on the CD Blu-ray setup. The only thing that comes in discs anymore are the base install files. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I never saw Firefly either. My brother watched the Firefly show and he's like, dude, you have to watch it. It's so good. And I just never got around to it. Too much math, smash rock, far with big stick. Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad that the Factorio devs made their own mod site and integrated into the game itself as well, with more devs would do the same thing. Didn't Factorio's like lead developer or the guy who owns the studio come out like as like a Trump supporter or something? They tried to cancel him. I remember the same way they tried to cancel the Five Nights for Freddy guy and Five Nights at Freddy's. And yeah, I want to say it was Factorio. He was just like, oh, whatever, kick rocks, don't care. Let me see here. We play stick rock and win wars here. Intergeneric. Sad thing is this kind of 80s retrofuturism and synthwave is right up my alley, but it's made by Naughty Dog, so I know it won't be for me. I mean, okay, so to be fair, and I know Mahendra has talked often about how he likes some of the Life is Strange games, and I know there are a lot of people who hated Last of Us 2 who loved the first one. I think there's a chance that you can still enjoy certain games, even if they're made by people who you wouldn't expect, would be making a game for you, right? Let me guess, Christians, they're going to talk about in the video game, they're not going to talk about Islam at all. I would imagine it's not going to be a religion that parallels Islam. I'm going to go turn the heater on, guys, because it's actually really cold in here. Yeah, they're not going to touch anything that resembles Islam. There's no way. Yeah, if they're going to play off an existing religion, it's going to be Christianity. Or maybe, I mean, they might, if they were smart, and I say if, they'd go much more like Mormon or Scientology or something along those lines. This dog shit game, yeah. More people did hate The Last of Us 2, and I was looking for this in my video I did this morning, trying to find the article because I remember reading and hearing people talk about when The Last of Us 2 came out, there was a lot of people that were taking their physical copies back to like GameStop and selling it back to the store. It was a very massively refunded game as far as I remember. But if I tried scouring the internet for stories about, Last of Us 2 being returned to GameStop or sold back to GameStop used, couldn't find it. If Neil Cuckman's Jewish, they're not going to talk about like Jewish religion. The whole story was leaked a couple months ago. Yeah, but they said, I think, that it wasn't confirmed or something. That's why you back up all your GOG games to jump drives. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's not a bad idea. No wonder you don't like. All right. So on a non Neil Druckmann topic, because again, I'm not a. Here's the thing. This is something that I've gotten to, to a point with video games and the console wars and platforms people play on. Here's the way I look at it, and I'm sure most of you guys are going to either agree or disagree, or most of us are just going to be like, yeah, whatever. I am a PC first gamer just because it has the most options. Then I have my little Nintendo dock here plugged into my computer, into my capture card, so if I want to play or stream a Nintendo game, I can. And then I've got Game Pass because it has PC games that I can try out without buying, and it's a really decent deal when I get it really cheap. So it's like less than $10 a month, and I get all these games. Okay, cool. Steam, I can get games on sale. I go through Instant Gaming and get discounts and all sorts of shit like that. So I can game really affordably from my computer. Nintendo has options too. Nintendo's eShop, you can go to Costco, you can get their $100 voucher, gets you 2 games that are normally $60 or $70, and they basically cost you $50. You can get that on sale, so basically your $70 game costs $45 through the eShop. There are ways to make gaming affordable on certain platforms. What I don't get into is Xbox is better than PlayStation, and PlayStation's better than Xbox, that crap. I don't care. I used to be like that, I no longer care. Buy whatever console you want, enjoy whatever games you want, I have no problem with that. But what I find funny is the people who are like console fan first and they get so blinded by that they can't acknowledge the fact that PC is basically the most functional way to play your games. It gives you the most options, Your PC is so slow. Well, the thing is, Mari, not every PC is going to be able to play every game. So well, see, Mahendra, I don't buy indie games on Nintendo. So for me personally, if it's a Legend of Zelda game, because again, Nintendo doesn't lower the price of their good games. You have to wait a long time. Once in a while, you go to Target or some store, you'll see a $60 Nintendo game for $20 and you go, what the hell? And you grab it, you go back a week later and it's back to full price. I've had that happen at GameStop a couple times. I think I got the first Mario Rabbids for $20 at GameStop, and that game's a fantastic turn-based game. And then again, a week later, it was back to $60. There are ways you can do that, but typically speaking, yeah, I don't buy anything that's not a Nintendo game through Nintendo's eShop. Dragon Gaze, the story follows their ideology, yeah. For the 2000s, I know BSG fans were kind of the dark horse with a really dedicated fan base. Having seen it, it was surprisingly good for the age, way better than the Star Trek. Yeah, I really need to catch up on like old sci-fis. I mean, I grew up on Star Trek Next Generation, but I was a Star Wars kid. And so I read all the Star Wars books, loved the original movies, hated the prequels, never even made it through all the sequels. I watched Force Awakens and I'm like, I'm out. That was just basically A New Hope, just not as good. But all the old school, like I never saw Firefly, I never watched Battlestar Galactica. I watched a bit of Deep Space Nine, but I was never big into Star Trek. All right, so let's talk about this whole situation with split fiction, because there's a lot of people on the whole topic about split fiction. Watch Farscape, I'll put that on the list. I mean, I should, because I fall asleep at night just with the TV on, I put a sleep timer on, and I'll watch whatever I can stream, right? So if these are things I can stream, I might as well start watching them. The whole split fiction conversation has been interesting, because this is a game that for any of you guys that were watching the State of Play with me about a month ago. The trailer for this was, on the PlayStation State of Play, and I kind of shook my head and was like, okay, 2 female riders. It's probably going to be some feminist crap. I don't care. I don't do the co-op games anyways. They have a place and a time and all that, and that works. Like, my kids have Unraveled 2, and I've played Little Nightmares, which is fantastic, and they made a sequel to Little Nightmares. It's co-op, and I should probably play that at some point. So there's a place for these split-screen couch co-op type games, right? I just don't really get into them. So when I saw the trailer for this game, I kind of cringed. I said, yeah, it looks like some feminist BS, whatever, okay? The game seems to be anything but that. Based on everything I'm hearing about the game, based on the director talking about the game, based on everybody who's played the game, the reviews for it, everything else. The game is apparently really, really good, right? From what I've seen of it, it has some signals, but no woke substance, not a woke game. Yeah, exactly. It just looks like if it's a game you're going to enjoy, then you'll enjoy it. If you love co-op games like Mari just said, you're going to have a blast with it. It sounds like the co-op itself is really well done. Another thing, for anybody who's on the fence, and this is not me endorsing the game, I'm going to say again right now, I have no plans to play this game. This is not a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 situation where people were like, you're only defending it because you wanted to play the game. No. In this situation, Lucia, the story from what I hear is really good. As far as like the actual story, it's just 2 different personality type people, and the director of the game, the guy who made the game, said he based it off his 2 daughters. He even gave the 2 girls in the game his daughters' names. From what I hear, it's just a great, like, it's just a great bonding experience between the 2 characters. There's no lesbianism, there's no feminism. It's just 2 characters who are kind of polar opposites that have to learn to work together. It's a co-op. It's a standard co-op type game, right? It's bringing Hypnotic and Smash together. Yeah, no kidding. Can't co-op games because they don't have friends. Well, Mahendra, like, I play online games. Like I was a couple nights ago, I was playing Starship Troopers, and you're stuck playing with randoms. Some games are good with randoms, some games aren't. This one, I don't know if this game has to have like if you play this game are you able to play this game by yourself? This, again, I have no plans on playing this game, so I'm not endorsing it whatsoever. I don't even know if you can play it solo, right? It Takes Two is amazing. I saw some clips of the Split Fiction. It sounded a little lame. Yeah, I mean, Geek, I'm not saying that the writing or the story are going to be like 10 out of 10, right? But it just seems like a game that's just fun if you like co-op games. Co-op helps me feel like I play good. That's like if I'm playing a game that I suck at, but I got some sweaty guy helping me, then that definitely helps pick you up a little bit, right? All right, so one more thing that might sell you on the game here. From The Gamer, and anybody who knows anything about these websites like The Gamer, these websites are pure feminist, woke trash. They are trash peddlers. They do nothing but shit on things gamers like and prop up things gamers hate. This is the same outlet that was crying a couple days ago about why is Monster Hunter Wilds doing good but Dragon Age Veilguard failed, okay? That's who these people are. Look at this headline right here, okay? Split Fiction is a game about writers that doesn't understand writing. This is pure salt right here, okay? Absolute pure salt. And this here tells me, especially given the fact that it's written by Tessa Cower, who I've talked about before. Tessa Cower, she's updated her profile picture, is a features editor at The Gamer. When they're not playing video games, they're lifting weights in the gym or reading in the park. I love narrative-driven games that engage with contemporary issues. Think The Last of Us 2. I also love a bit of surrealism, a la Disco Elysium and Kentucky Route Zero. I'm most interested in industry trends, diversity in games, and critiquing media through a progressive lens. I also have a particular interest in franchises that cross mediums. Blah, 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 blah. This is the person that's reviewing this, that's talking about the game, okay? So that right there should tell you all you need to know about the person writing the article. All right, Wolverine. Wild, that's what I'm saying, okay? Maybe this game journalist knows something we don't. No, Tess Cower she's trash. She's a horrible writer. Split Fiction launched on my birthday, which felt like a little gift from game director Joseph Ferris to myself, handed down through the malevolent corporate gods we know as Electronic Arts. Oh, these people, I'm sorry. I know I haven't written an article in probably a month. I've been too busy. I haven't felt inspired. I haven't had the time. But these people, everything feels like self-grandized, like a grand, I can't remember the word. It sounds like everything is like they're just putting words in there to fluff their egos. You know what I'm saying? Like more words equals good. Yeah. Well, Lugia, this is not the first time we've seen this person make an article about this kind of stuff, right? I therefore spent my afternoon playing it with a writer friend. It felt like an apt thing to do. We're both gamers and writers, though one of us is actually successful and the other has a folder in their email box with like 100 literary journal rejections. Oh, a little salty there. I expected us both to feel represented to some extent in the game, but by the end of our long first play session, I was left sorely disappointed. It doesn't seem like Split Fiction is a game about writing. In fact, I'm not sure it understands writing at all. Split Fiction's writing is very bad. Split Fiction is ostensibly a game about writers. Heroines Mio and Zoe, or is it Mio? I'm just going to say Mio, are writers who have been invited by a company called Raider Publishing to test out some kind of simulation device alongside a bunch of other authors hankering to get published. Zoe, a bubbly fantasy writer, thinks this is her way into finally getting published. Mio, a cynical sci-fi writer, mostly just wants the money that comes with the deal. The writers are shepherded into the device creatively called the Machine, which simulates the stories inside their heads while containing them in weird bubbles. Mio tries to back out at the last moment, and after struggling with CEO JD, that's interesting, Raider, falls into Zoe's bubble. It turns out the Machine is a device built to steal these writers' ideas. The game's levels therefore explore different stories or just ideas that Mio and Zoe have dreamt up, forcing them to cooperate to escape. Okay, like right off the bat, not a game based on the story I want to play, right? They're fan fiction writers from Tumblr. Yeah. Game journalists write as though they were trying to emulate Shakespeare if they were wearing a helmet and licking a lead-flavored window. Oh, God. Just because they think it's not their writing, they think it's bad. Yeah. So, despite this writerly premise, Split Fiction doesn't get writing. It's a video game! Now, okay, there might be legitimate criticism in this article about how, like, the actual writing of the story is bad. But I'm getting the vibe that she's pissed off that it didn't focus on the writer side of them, but it focused on fun and gaming, okay? I don't necessarily mean that it's badly written, although it definitely is. The dialogue between the two protagonists is trite and boring. Oh, trite. Oh, boy. The characters are tropey and feel like they were written solely to act in opposition to each other, a classic enemies to friends arc if I've ever seen one. Yes, because a man made this game about his daughters. And you probably don't have children, so you don't understand that children are always in direct opposition to each other 90% of their freaking day. My kids are in a state right now where I've got one that's almost a teenager and two that are almost a decade old, and the three of them collectively cannot get along to save their life. If one of them says the sky is blue, the other one says it's red, and vice versa. I just punched my printer. The reality is, this is children. This is called parenting. This is life. This is what you deal with on a daily basis with kids. So if they're leaning into that where he's inspired by his daughters, it doesn't surprise me that they live in direct opposition to each other. Okay? She's mad that the sisters didn't end up scissoring at some point. That's what it feels like. If the writing is bad, shouldn't the journal feel represented? I need a, you know? People obsessed with things not cliche or horribly myopic? Yeah. Okay. Act in opposition to each other. Let me see, and the entire premise acts as only a vehicle for the gameplay. Oh no! A reason to explore two different genres in tandem without really engaging the concept of originality, though its story might lead you to believe it will. That premise is tenuous at best for a game that's supposedly about writers fighting to hold on to their original ideas. Very little of Split Fiction's ideas, at least in terms of world building and plot, are interesting or original. In fact, the game seems to reference other video games far more than it creates original ideas or even reference literary work. Maybe these writers aren't getting published because all their work rips off other existing franchises with barely any changes. Just a thought. This bitch is salty! Oh my gosh! Wow! No, I know Geek, but they're stand-ins for the director's daughters. He based them on his two kids. I will say that the metaphor does work if you understand the Machine and Raider to be a criticism of generative AI, Raider seems to believe that stealing a writer's ideas, no matter how ridiculous they are, Zoe has a story about adorable pigs getting turned into sausages and eaten, is tantamount to taking their work, which it isn't. Most famous literary works aren't entirely novel or original. Many iterate on classics written before them, adding, subtracting, and reimagining. A large chunk of even Shakespeare's catalog is based on existing works of fiction, but it's a writerly craft that makes them new and interesting. Without that craft, there's no work, no creation. She's basically saying you can't say there's nothing new, which I would agree with to an extent, but I don't know. She seems just to be bitching, right? Love when a failed writer tries to lecture me about good writing. It reminds me of my high school years. Yeah. Then again, split fiction never seems to really get into that aspect. The idea that craft is what matters. In fact, it never seems to care all that much about the practice of publishing or writing at all. For example, it's unclear if Zoe and Mio are trying to publish novels or short stories, both of which are dealt with very differently in the publishing industry. Holy shit. There's a line, I need this on a video clip for my stream deck, that where Michael tells Toby on The Office, "You are a thief of joy." That is what this woman, this writer for The Gamer, is doing. She is sucking all the joy out of this game and out of the room. It's also entirely unclear why any of these writers would willingly enter a strange device under the nebulous premise of getting published. Why would a simulator do that? Because it's a freaking video game. Because it allows the corporation to see the pieces in action? Why would that matter in a literary work? The suspension of disbelief the game requires is astounding. Okay, these are the same people who are going to defend the historical game Assassin's Creed Shadows that has like a bunch of mythological bullshit shoved into it that had nothing to do with history. It requires you to, you have to suspend your belief that there's a 6-foot-tall black man running around Japan decapitating people to play Assassin's Creed Shadows. But this game is too far. This is too far, apparently. And the two women are constantly nipping at each other about why the other hasn't been published, not unheard of in a very competitive industry, but entirely unrealistic as split fiction portrays it. Maybe your sci-fi is too cynical, Zoe says. Fantasy is stupid, Mio says. Both overlook the very obvious issue of both genres having produced cult classic works of fiction that subvert expectations and even meld sci-fi and fantasy together. Dune, for example, split fiction, has a shockingly reductive view of literary work and genre fiction, and worse than that, of writers as a whole. Oh, she feels like attacked by this game, guys. The very first side story, supposedly written by the sci-fi repulsed Zoe, is about riding giant creatures through the sand while using vibrations to lure them away. It's just Dune. You know what also did that? You guys ever watch that movie Tremors with Kevin Bacon from the 1990s? I think that movie came out like 1994, where the monsters, the big worm things under the ground, you have to use vibrations, like throw a rock to get them to go somewhere else so you can escape. It's like, what the hell, man? Perhaps I'm being uncharitable. I haven't finished Split Fiction yet, and maybe it will get better, but I don't think it will. Multiple reviews have held the writing up as a weak point, with our own reviewer Jade King even calling it hokey. Oh, well, we'll talk about Jade King in a minute. A few hours in, its metaphor is so muddy that I have no idea what it's trying to say. Is it an indictment of generative AI? A statement about artistic integrity? I'm not sure it's going to convince me of anything by the end of it. Oh, boo freaking who. Jade King. Jade King. Oh boy. You want to take any guesses about Jade King, guys? I think there's a little bit of LARPing going on with this one. The Graboids Tremors is freaking awesome. How can she be so myopic? How can she not see every complaint she has as if something she's also saying? What I'm hearing in the complaint is, my video game has too much video game in it. My video game doesn't appeal to me. It appeals to the majority of gamers. That's what I'm hearing. Okay? So her entire complaint stems from the fact that I'm a writer and I don't feel represented because they don't know how to do writing properly. While they're selling her crazy amount for just a couch co-op type game. And I'm sure it didn't cost that much, let's be honest. A game like that, I doubt it was like in the $100 million range. So I'm sure the game's already on the way to make money. Jade King's a lead features editor for The Gamer, specializing in everything from the latest reviews to in-depth interviews with people across the industry. She's also built a reputation for covering both animation and queer media in all forms. Of course she has. Favorite games: Last of Us Part 2, Final Fantasy IX, Stardew Valley, Nier, Butterfly Soup. A bit of an all-rounder when it comes to video games. I love to play and write about everything from Final Fantasy. You love to write, but you didn't catch this very basic typo right here. Wow. Here's the thing. This is me coming from being very good at English and writing back when I was like actually going to school. I was a straight A student when it came to like English 101 and literature and all that. If your bio has typos, I'm not going to take you seriously as a writer. That's just basically the way I view it. I also love to dip my toes into queer media, animation, and ever comics from time. Holy shit! Ever comics from time to time. Even comics. What is going on here? If something has cute characters and plenty of sappy emotions, chances are I'll be all over it. Proudest gaming achievement. Like many critics of games, I'm not very good at them. But I did kill lots of insects in Earth Defense Force despite having a fear of spiders. Oh my god. Oh, but Jade played Guitar Hero 5. Okay. Holy crap. What is Butterfly Soup? I don't even want to know. So again, these are the people telling you game good or game bad, okay? Is it sinking in yet? Like they complain about how the two were judging other works of fiction without recognizing the prevalence of popularity, and is that not what they were doing about the game? I mean, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there, Blithy, and it definitely seems that way. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like, these people have no self-awareness whatsoever. So, okay. Like I said, I'm not inspired by this article to go rush out and buy the game because it's just not a game that I have any desire to play. I think Mahendra was asking me on Discord if I was going to play it with like other streamers or whatever. I just don't have any interest in the game. I just don't. The game looks fine. Okay. I thought the dialogue looked a little cringy. I thought the characters might lean into like the girl power stuff. Apparently it doesn't. Okay, cool. Because if it did, you know she'd mention in this article, well, at least they do present the females well. No, she doesn't even say that. There's no, I'm getting zero like feminist vibe from this game. But now we're going to get some friendly fire here because unfortunately the usual suspects have been acting like complete retards on the internet because of this game. So this is just getting to the point where, again, I have these people muted because I am not going to give them my Twitter monetization, my clicks. I'm not going to do that. So thankfully people are screenshotting and talking about it and not actually reposting people because that gets to the point where it's like, stop doing this. This is what they want. This is all outrage for outrage's sake for monetization purposes, right? The reason these people say crazy shit online is for money, all right? I mean, when you boil it all down, most people, most entertainers, most people who are doing videos or articles or whatever, they're doing it for money, sure. Money for me is like the side part of it because I don't make that much money on YouTube. It's more the side of it where it's like these people are intentionally provoking people for a response because of monetization. And that's where I think you draw the line. It's like, I don't even necessarily believe that they believe the things that they're saying. I think it is all a grift. I think it is all 100% for the money side of it. Because I can't believe people are actually this retarded, okay? So Packer Girl shares this thing that says gamers, and this is the thing. All these tweets all start off with gamers from Yorch Torch. When will Fandom Pulse journalist Yorch Torch Games realize that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Split Fiction exposed the anti-woke grifters like him? This is from a tweet that he had apparently put out there that says, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Split Fiction are exposing the fake anti-woke mindset. What do you think is happening? The self-owning logic of fake anti-wokes. Assassin's Creed Shadows. That game doesn't respect history. It has Yasuke. Ubisoft made him gay. And then you have Kingdom Come Deliverance. It features Musa and a gay Henry. Great RPG. You're a retard if you don't like and support it. Now again, this is a retarded comparison. Once again, they're both games that take place in a historical setting with fictional characters. However, nobody in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2's defense tried to make you believe that Henry or Hans existed, right? They use Hans, the character of Hans, like his backstory as like this character, but it's like we're taking liberties with this. Yasuke, it was all learn about the real history of Japan through the perspective of Yasuke, the first black samurai. They're selling him as something that did not exist, with zero evidence whatsoever. So again, You can complain about the gay romance in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. You can complain about like the Jewish encampment like you guys were talking about. You can complain about Musa and all this other like stuff. That's fair criticism. If you want to complain about it, go for it. But it's a completely retarded comparison. So that being said, hang on, let me do something real quick. Their self-awareness is only of themselves. They have no awareness of how the world works outside their self-awareness. Yeah, and honestly, I feel like that's where we are with a lot of this shit. Why is that not disappearing yet? My poll is not going away. Didn't you know he's Henry IV of Hungary, where people are named Henry? Dude, my chat is so far behind, it's not even funny. Holy crap. Let me reopen my chat in this window here. Yeah, open in web browser. Streamlabs hates me, I swear to God. All right, so then you have Avowed versus Split Fiction. Avowed, that game features uglified, uninspiring female protagonists. It has the woke color palette non-binary. People didn't just complain about the female... Avowed, you can make your character male. Unless he means the NPCs, but you are the protagonist. You're the main character of the game. The problem is Yorch doesn't play games. Yorch doesn't actually play any of the games that he talks about. And it's very obvious in this fucking meme. It's so retarded, it's not even funny. Split Fiction is the bestest co-op ever. Love the protagonist. Go girls. Can't wait to get home and play it with my buddy. Okay. So then you get down here where he talks about LGBT characters equals LGBT propaganda. Female protagonist equals feminism. Someone says, maybe because the two games on the end are actually well made. I promise it doesn't hurt to look at everything through a woke lens and play the game. So you're okay with LGBTQ propaganda and feminism as long as it's a good game. Guy says, you're really going to die on this hill. He says, I'm a conservative, won't betray my core set of beliefs because it's a good game or to cater to a more liberal crowd. Then, of course, you see this right here. John Del Rose says, absolutely, a bunch of frauds tried to go at conservatives for not liking a game due to LGBTQ themes and feminism, and they got exposed hard. I think some are paid shills. So this is where we're at. We're on the, at the point where they are claiming that if you don't shit on a game because you legitimately think it has something redeeming, that you're a paid shill too. Well, I can tell you right now, straight up, I attacked Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for the valid criticisms about the game. I have engaged in many conversations about things that were a bad idea that they shouldn't have done, and criticisms of Daniel Vavra himself. Nobody paid me to not call the game gay pedophilia. That was common sense. When John and John Trent and everybody started spreading that story that the game had underage gay sex in it, I'm like, this is retarded. You know, I went to try to get clarification from Daniel Vavra about the codex and everything else, talked to a bunch of people about it, and they're like, yeah, this is asinine. He's an adult. But again, apparently by not saying it was gay pedophilia, you're being paid as a shill, right? He lost the plot massively. If the poll stays up for more than 4 hours, consult your doctor. I love nothing more than people stating other people's arguments are whatever is convenient to them despite having no basis in reality. It gets better because you'll see that there's a tweet. I think Mr. Hardcore Mode was talking about it on his stream earlier. I'll try to find the tweet. Of course, the Lucario lover also chimed in. Well, I told you, I am in a group chat that has a lot of big hitters, including these two, that I don't know why John Del Rose has not removed me from. I don't chat in it. I'm sitting in it like, are you guys ever going to take me out of this thing? Because John has already messaged me and he's called me like a coattail rider and how I'm just trying to grift off of Smash JT. I'm like, I was on his stream one time I was on his stream, and in general I avoid talking about John on my streams for the most part until this shit comes up. And it's like the grift is that you're just going to say whatever you think is going to provoke the most outrage because it's going to result in clicks for fandom polls and monetization on Twitter. That's the grift. Favorite game? Well, if you base it off of what I've played the most on Steam, my favorite game is Valheim, Warframe, or Insurgency Sandstorm, which are all very different. Favorite games of all time, you'd have to put Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, God, Halo 2. I'm showing my age right now. There's a lot to choose from, though. What game you wish for in the future? Mari, I'm excited about the next Doom game, and that's from somebody who's not a big fan of Doom, okay? The next Doom game looks legitimately awesome. So he says, George does, if you're a conservative gamer, you need to draw a line that's inherently conservative. You can't say this is woke, but this isn't, when a game basically ticks every single check in the woke checklist. So guys, apparently Split Fiction checks every single checkbox in the woke checklist. Apparently we have a checklist now for woke games, right? And yes, it wouldn't surprise me if EA is already paying fake anti-wokes to shill for a game. You cannot make this shit up. Like, holy crap. She says it gets dumber. Apparently Split Fiction is a woke trend and proof that 2025 is the year of the girl boss. From Andy Pants Games, 2025 is the year of the girl boss. I hear it's a great game, but it's 100% a product of this woke trend. Let's play Gears of War 2, yes, based. Look, that game is the bestest co-op ever, the International Women's Month. Let's play as empowered women. Yeah, you already know. Again, somebody asked him about it, and he said basically that everything about the game is woke. I'm pretty sure I have the tweet somewhere up here, right? It's not this one. The woke agenda will be more insidious starting this year. Big corporations like EA and Microsoft will start paying fake anti-woke influencers. I want to know when that EA money is going to come my way. Maybe it's because my views fell off. Maybe I'm not getting enough views for EA to start paying me, right? This guy responds to Andy Pants and says, the guy made it after he was inspired by his daughters. I also think they're straight, so what's the complaint? The game's fun, they look fine, realistic, but still attractive, same way they've done any human characters in most of their games. Andy Pants responds, girl boss trend. And then, of course, John De La Rose is still saying Legend of Zelda. Guys, here's the thing. If you still think these people are operating in good faith, and again, I say this as somebody, I've known John De La Rose for about 1.5 years now. I've been on the inside of a lot of his conversations. I've never felt the urge or the knee-jerk reaction to go attack him, to try to out him or expose him or any of this stuff. And there's been a lot of controversies I've been around that he's been in the middle of, between the Ripperverse, Comicsgate, the Ed Piskor situation, everything else. He's been in the middle of all that. And I've never once been like, oh, I need to expose this guy. I've still been like, okay, I'm just going to stay in my lane and keep my nose down. This same man called Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom woke last year because it had Zelda as the main character. And now here he is doubling down on it. Okay. My name Tony. Oh my god. Oh, you're asking Wild that. What did he say? I just want the chainsaw shield. I work for a sign company who makes all the signs for the round one centers. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's an arcade. Mari says I went there with my mom last week. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've played arcade games. Okay, guys, I'm going to massively date myself on this one. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find my favorite arcade game. So there are two. There are two that we used to go to a Mexican restaurant, and they had the arcade in the main entryway, and I used to beg my mom for quarters, and eventually she'd find, this is back when we were dirt poor, so it's like scrounging up enough quarters for your 4 kids to play the arcade games. That was like, that might be your next meal, right? So, let me see if I can find this, hang on. Give me a second. Oh yeah, so there's this one. Unfortunately, it's a Kotaku article, but I'm gonna bring it up anyways. And then, let me see if I can find the other one. That wasn't it. Which one was it? Oh, here it is. I got it. Yeah, there are 2 arcade games that just stick out to me that were my all-time favorite growing up. Just gotta find it here. Oh my god, they have Oregon Trail on here. That's crazy. Okay, I got it. Hang on. I had to find the name. I couldn't remember what it was called. All right. Alien versus Predator? No, that's a good one though. John was the one that wrote a sci-fi romance novel set in his knockoff 40K universe while stealing the likeness of his Spanish. Okay, so here's the situation with the JDA. Oh no, Ash, we're still here. You're good. We got a little while to go still. The situation with JDA with the Spanish woman that had the Spanish linguistic lessons on her website was that he used her picture for his alt profile on Twitter so that he could, spy on people, and he used her likeness on that profile. The name Daniela Acera is one that he made up, and in fact, on the Kickstarters that he had his romance novels on, he used the picture of his girlfriend or spouse. I don't know if they're married or whatever that situation is. Not the ex-wife that everyone's sharing the old restraining order stuff from. That's a whole separate person. So this looks familiar. This was one of my all-time favorite arcade games. So there were 4 characters, and so I like to play this guy here, the Mexican guy with the poncho and the sombrero. In fact, I think we can watch the YouTube video here. No, just get to the game.
Arcades in 1991.
Here you go.
The game was developed and published by Konami. The arcade was a run-and-gun shooter.
What are we talking about?
Featured some basic
Zab, how are you, my man?
Navigating.
You still alive?
The game challenged you to shoot and destroy enemies, while not only avoiding hostile projectiles, but also AoE explosions like dynamite.
This game was so much fun. And this again, you could have 4 players playing at the same time, and eventually you get on horseback. It was so good. Then of course, there's another classic I gotta bring up here. This guy right here. Ninja Mutant Turtles Arcade. This game was freaking awesome. Now, the original Ninja Turtles on the Nintendo was really good too, but I played a lot of the Ninja Turtles arcade game. Arcades are just not the way they used to be anymore. It really sucks. Cowboy Contra, I guess you could call it that. It's called Sunset Riders. Yeah, Ash, exactly. I'm old. I'm aging myself here. Despite all odds, hang in there, Zav. Guy has a more complex in real life lore than any of his novels. Hey, Vernum, you don't even know the half of it, dude. There is so much to... Okay, did you know that back in 2009, John De La Rose was running to be a senator in California? I didn't know that. Smash had that on a stream that he was talking about, that he had me on. Cormano Wild? No, that was... The one that we were just looking at was Sunset Riders. The Cowabunga collection? I don't think I have that on Nintendo. I'll have to check. Legit arcade machine for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by his wife for their first anniversary. I spent the next few weekends at their place tearing it up. Nice. You were 8 in 09. You're making me feel old, man. Dude, I turned 39 in a few months here, okay? Didn't even speak English back in 2009, so no, I did not know that. Yeah, so that's part of the deep lore on JDA. Apparently, he also is like, people claim he's like a trust fund baby. I don't know. It would make sense because he has a lot of time where he talks often about like his stocks or his cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. The man has been tied into like Comicsgate. He's been kicked out of parts of Comicsgate. He's been at odds with the Rippaverse. He's had beef with Geeks and Gamers. He's attacked Bounding into Comics. He's attacked That Park Place, both places he used to be affiliated with. Basically, everywhere he goes, he creates chaos and drama. John is a narcissist. He enjoys the attention. He enjoys the drama. He enjoys like making a mess of everything and making everything about himself. 25 is not old. Don't even say that. Dude, I got married at 23. I didn't have my first kid till I was 25. 25 is not old. Okay, so I think the last one that I had to talk about, ironically, I don't even know if I can play this on stream, guys, because it's technically a copyrighted song, although it's at 200% speed. So we were talking about Matt Walsh, right? Somebody brought up Matt Walsh. I think it was Lugia or Ryan. Somebody did. And, well, he set the world record at 180% and then did it for... That's insane. Okay. I'm a huge Dragon Force fan. Never seen him in concert, but I used to jam out to Dragon Force when I was playing Guild Wars. Playing, like, you know, the 8-man team. I'm the monk. We're doing, like, runs and farming and underworld shit and all that. And I would love... I just said, like, I would have Dragon Force on the entire time in the background as I'm playing my game, talking to my guys on Ventrilo and all that. This was before Discord, so we had to communicate via other means, right? And this guy apparently played Through the Fire and Flames at 200% speed. He spent 9 months and 50,000 attempts to achieve this. Now, this isn't some loser living in his mom's basement. This man has a huge following, I'm sure, right? Because you can see his chat is just like scrolling at like Asmongold level speeds. I'm going to play a little snippet for you guys. I'm going to turn the volume down a tiny bit because, like I said, I don't know if it's going to be something where we have a copyright issue or not. But we're just going to play this for a second here. I'm going to move myself too because you can't really see what's going on there. Oh yeah, Ash, one of my favorites recently is like Swedish metal. On a cold winter morning. What about a cold winter morning? Hey, fight me financially. Rise of the Ronin launch is abysmal. Oh, dude, I forgot that was that dropping today? All my friends from high school are college grads, a third of them with kids, and I'm a gas station cook with 3 cats. It's old. Oh my god, I'm sorry, dude. Oh man. If he used his finger speed for something else, he'd make some ladies very, very happy. The dude's insane. Okay. Now, again, he's not doing this for free. Like I said, he's not some loser who's like, oh, this is just you sitting in front of your TV, this and that, whatever. It's like this man is performing for an audience of probably a few thousand people watching him stream, right? I mean, look how fast his chat is moving. Well, you can't see it now because I'm in the way. And see, this is one of these things, if for anybody who's watched the music video where Herman Lee is shredding on this solo, it is the most insane thing to watch at 100% speed. And I get it, Guitar Hero and guitar is a very different skill set. I'm not gonna say that this man doesn't have any skill. He's better at pushing buttons than Herman Lee is, but Herman Lee as a guitarist is better than 99% of guitarists that are out there. But this still requires a insane amount of hand-eye coordination, muscle memory, you name it. Like it's incredible, right? I just know this entire part of the stream is going to get copyright claimed. I'm going to have to trim this entire part out later on. Now again, I can look at this as somebody who's like, I've never really had a desire to play Guitar Hero. And I can look at this and go, damn, this is incredible, right? I never really cared about Guitar Hero. It wasn't my thing. I was like, I'd rather get good at the guitar, and then I kind of gave up after a while. He's going to break his controller. Anybody who hates on Otis being hyperfixated on something apparently pointless but with great value to them is my enemy, no exceptions. Based. And you know, I don't say based anymore lightly. Yeah, no, this is pretty incredible, right? So obviously it goes on a little bit longer. It's basically more of the same. I mean, if you know the part, you know the guitar part. But again, the level of practice and skill and time it takes to get this good at something is astronomical, right? Said it took him, what, 9 months? 50,000 attempts to do it?
Yes! Yes!
I mean, I would be like freaking out too if that were me. So, makes my hands hurt just watching it. It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible, right? Then what we have, I'm gonna put myself back where I belong. Hang on a second. Then what we have is Matt Walsh coming in like a massive wet fart, like a wet blanket on a hot summer day. No, like a wet fart on a hot summer day, wrapped in a wet blanket, saying, why not spend that time learning how to play an actual guitar? So Lugia, when I talk about my issue I have with Matt Walsh, it's opinions like that. And he got destroyed over it. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers says, what are the chances you would have tweeted about it if it was a real guitar? I'm thinking 0 because you don't actually care. You just want to cry about video games. George Alexopoulos, like I said, artist who criticizes conservatives for not supporting art, says, for the same reason Tom Brady played football, because games are fun, you narrow-sighted oaf, have you heard of fun? Savvy says, why aren't you doing something I approve of instead of what you wanted? Both are frivolous to survival, but at least I approve of one of them. Very true. Matt's talking about video games again, this effing guy. Brother, this guy stinks. How much time have you spent learning what a woman it was, trying to be funny, or studying the Bible? Matt Walsh, why does that guitar have buttons? Oh my god. Oh my god. Matt, you unironically sound like an 85-year-old. He likely does play guitar. People can do more than one thing with their interests. Okay, Dan Vask, an actual musician and singer, says because that wouldn't make you cry. Because he can be the best in the world at this, but not playing an actual guitar. Disparu says why. Amuse says why not do both. Then you got Britta. She's a Daily Wire like stan. No money to be made in daily guitar practice live streams. That's bullshit. When Herman Lee streams on Twitch, half the time all he does is play his music on stream, and he's got tons of Twitch viewers. That's complete BS. He makes money from it just like you make money talking about cartoons and wearing wigs. Matt, with all due respect, this achievement has really nothing to do with the guitar or learning any instrument. It's a brain challenge. It's like doing Sudoku on meth. It keeps your brain spry. How do you know he doesn't know how to play the guitar? It's his free time. He can do what he wants with it. Shut up. Yeah. Matt Walsh wishes he could do something that well. Dude, honestly, this is, like I said, this has been my biggest issue with Matt Walsh. If he focused on the things that he excels at for his audience and basically just kind of stayed in his own lane, that would be fine. Matt Walsh, if you guys remember, last year, after Gamergate 2 had already kicked off and Sweet Baby Inc. had already become a thing, he put out a video acting like nobody had heard of or talked about Sweet Baby Inc. before he talked about it. And I could still find the tweet. At that time, my channel was like 1,000 subscribers, and I had half as many followers on Twitter. And I was like, Matt, I have a video on a channel with 1,000 subscribers that got 66,000 views talking about them. What are you talking about, right? It would be perfectly fair for Matt Walsh to want to learn guitar over playing it himself. I feel similarly. I don't enjoy the game. Do I think people need to do what I want? That's ridiculous. Exactly, Oblivion. That's my opinion. Like, okay, you're assuming he doesn't know how to do more than one thing right now. Me want to open Steam to hyperfixate on a comp shooter for next 6 months? Would Matt Walsh approve of my joke? Oh my god. That's, yeah. Redbeard asking the real questions. Dude, there are a lot. Why are you posting on Twitter instead of reloading ammunition or raising crops on your homestead base? Okay, you're right. I gotta, that's, yeah. Of course, here's a great one. This request looks like it might be automated to protect our users from spam. It thinks that me retweeting that guy's post was spam. Screw you, Twitter. You know playing this doesn't make you cool like a real rock band. Guys, didn't you hear me? Stop having fun. I think Matt was raised in a strict household. It's possible. And here's the thing. Look, I am a guy who has 3 kids that I'm trying to navigate through this world where everything is electronic, everything is streamed, everything is on phones and tablets and TV screens and computers. And the last thing I want them to do is spend their entire life living through a camera or a phone or a screen. But it's like, my kids have plenty of artistic talent. My kids are all really good at sports. My daughter is exceptional at sports. Like my oldest son he's going to be Mr. Jock. He's you know, going to be a big guy. He's going to be towering over me by the time he's probably in his early teens. And he's very big. If he wants to work out, he could probably be a bodybuilder very easily. Loves sports. He's still smart though. He's still good at other things. He's just not artistic, right? He's really good at video games, whatever. My daughter is like a complete like genius, artistic, you know, completely, like my daughter's artistic talent is crazy. She's really good at, for 9 years old, she's insane as far, you know, how good she is at art. She's also exceptional at softball. I'm saying this because she was drafted in the draft for her team at 9 years old onto a AAA team, which is like 2 years ahead of where she's at, because the coach who drafted her said, I saw your daughter pitch in evaluations and I knew I needed to have her. So I told the team, or the other coaches, we're going to draft another kid at 9 years old because I need this kid. So again, these are not children who spend their lives in front of screens, you know, not doing other things as well. But my kids all love video games. They all do. They all enjoy things that have technology and screens and entertainment and useless crap. We all get time to not have to take everything so seriously, you know? I think what Matt is missing is in his mind, he has said to himself, there are things that I will justify that are useful, you know, ways to have entertainment and downtime, like reading or writing or art or whatever. But if it's anime or if it's video games or something that my brain just doesn't understand, I'm going to say it has no value, whether it's no artistic value, no entertainment value, no educational value, whatever. So ironically, it's Matt Walsh who's living his life through a screen. He's talking right there, Oblivion, exactly. And he's tweeting about it on Twitter. Right. People used to say the same about reading books. I play 6 instruments, was pro gymnast, still proud to say I love video games. Matt sounds really biased. Yeah, he does. I was able to work in the oil patch and play games. Oh yeah, Ash, my daughter, she's an overachiever, but ironically, as smart as she is, she hates math. She hates certain subjects. And then her twin brother is the least athletic out of the 3 of them, but he is the sneaky, smart, quiet type. It's like, he's the one that he quietly gets good at things when you don't realize it, so. I don't find that gay sex has any benefit to conservatism, but there's Matt Walsh being gay. Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, I can't beat that. Matt Son forgot to have fun. Basically, it's what it feels like. You have to think of this through the eyes of someone colossally lame. Yeah. Well, then there's San and there's Sama, right? And Sama is like the more cordial, friendly version of it, and San is more proper. Is that what I'm thinking? Because I remember on watching Shogun, they address a lot of the people that he's in the same village with as Sama after their name. And again, I was always trying to figure out what the difference between San and Sama was. Sama's like nobility. Okay, so it's more formal. San is more cordial. Okay, I got you. Yeah, no, I don't know. All I know is I'm sick and tired of people telling you you're not allowed to have a different opinion. When you do have a different opinion, people call you a grifter, or they call you woke, or they say you're not woke enough. Even if you are anti-woke on 99% of things, I don't know. I'm just, my brain hurts. This last few months truly has left my brain just hurting. And things like this whole split fiction thing, for me personally, it's like, I'm going to be very happy, I think, 6 months from now, when all of this woke versus anti-woke, Gamergate 1, Gamergate 2 stuff is kind of fizzled out, so we can take every situation at face value for what it is and stop projecting every single game's issues onto the next game that's coming out. So San was not invented or used yet during the Shogunate era. Okay, there you go. Yeah, Oblivion, if you want to know something Japanese, go to the source. Hey, one of these days I will actually learn Japanese. No, now I have to figure out if tomorrow night I'm going to go on... Crap, I cannot remember. I think her YouTube name is 40K Empress. She's in Bulgaria. Luckily, she's very good at English, so I'm not going to have too much of a difficulty if she live streams from her channel tomorrow night, communicating with her. But it's like, I'm going to have to get better versed in different cultures and histories and languages and all that if I'm going to keep talking to people outside of my little sphere here, you know? Matt is the youngest G-san, not a san? Huh. I don't know what Jisan is. That's not like a slur or like a insult, is it? Anyways, what time is it? Oh, 11:35. That's not terribly late yet. All right, guys, I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap things up. Might try to get this split fiction video put together for tomorrow because I think this gamer outlet is absolutely hysterical. No Nihongo? What's Nihongo? Now I want to know what Jisan is. Here's the play. JDA gets GG2 to nuke a valid actual good game on woke basis. Normies discover overvigilance cost them a studio. GG2 blame. GG2 breaks. That's what he's trying. Huh. I mean, here's the thing, Hook. I don't think he has any plan other than whatever benefits him is what he's going to do. John is a narcissist. He's, without a question, he is a textbook narcissist. I mean, if you listen to him talk, and he's messaged me, I'm not going to show the DMs, because it's, again, that's like violating privacy and all that. Even for somebody who I have no respect for, I'm not going to do that. But he truly believes that we are all, like, full of shit, and he's right about everything, and that he's just trying to do the right thing. And it's like, no, dude, you lied. You know, you straight up lied about a game, and that bothered me. And he's like, but it is gay pedophilia, even though he knows it's not. So, again, I don't know that he has some master plan. I think he just... I don't think he's trying to see the world burn. I think he's just grifting off it while he can, you know? Nihon is Japan, Nihongo Japanese. Oh. Wow. Listening to me speak Japanese would be brutal. I did fine with German, but I don't think I could do Japanese. Like, for example... Let me see if I can bring up something German here. Hang on a second. Hang on one second. Because I can't think of a German phrase off the top of my head right now. Okay, we got German phrases. Hallo, guten Tag, auf Wiedersehen, Tschüss, bitte, danke, ja, nein, Entschuldigung, es tut mir leid, wie geht's, bis später, guten Morgen, guten Abend, bitte wiederholen, ich spreche kein Deutsch, wie heißen Sie, sprechen Sie Englisch, ich verstehe nicht, bitte schon, das stimmt, einen Moment bitte. Those are all basic. I'm talking like real phrases. Come on. Give me something difficult. Like, I love reading instructions in German. You got some fun words in there, right? So for me personally, it's like German feels natural. I don't know if I could switch up and start doing Japanese. Feel the only thing you'd be able to say well is Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Yeah. Oh my god, 80s, man. Woo! German's fun. German is an interesting language. But it's not for everybody, and it's a very harsh language. It does get to be very, very... It sounds very harsh. I don't speak Spanish. I mean, okay, so I can say phrases like so I had one brother who took Spanish, one who took French, and then my brother and I, who were very close in age, we both took German. So I was able to understand some phrases in Spanish, but I just didn't actually take Spanish. There's an upcoming game called Planeten Command. I feel like you're setting me up for something that I shouldn't be saying. Planeten-Verteidigungskanonen-Kommandant? ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Sí, señor. Esta es la casa de mi tía. No, gracias, Alejo Ecastasios. Yeah, see, movie lines. El hombre con los manos de piedra. Nobody knows where the library is? Yeah. It's a real game. Planeten-Verteidigungskanonen-Kommandant. Planetary Defense Can... Yeah, that sounds about right. Very little that pertains to the job. If it's better than Mech Engineer, then that's fine. Mech Engineer is a game that I got through Keymailer last year, and I tried to play it when we were doing the indie streams on Wednesday, and Mech Engineer is 99% engineer garbage, like jargon that I don't understand, and 1% video game. It's absolutely insane. I'm like, I can't do this. No slurs, Planet Defenders Commander. Okay, I just had to be sure. If you write it, I'll say it. You could try. Not sure if you're talking about Spanish or German. I'm fairly decent at reading French and Spanish. I have a fairly good grasp of how the words are supposed to sound. But really, I don't speak French or Spanish. And my German's very rusty. Mech Engineer needs you to have autism to enjoy the whole game. It's 43 MB and half of it's the manual. I'm telling you, Avernum, I tried getting to, you know, I really tried. I sat down for like an hour. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. Nothing made sense. Gemu Daisuke? Is it Daisuke or Daisuke? Gemu Daisuke? I don't know. I made this mistake because I called Yasuke Yasuke, and everyone's like, it's not Yasuke, it's Yasuke. I'm like, okay, so I gotta say Yasuke now. Yeah, no, that Mech Engineer game was something else, man. I couldn't do it. I tried. There were a few games like that were just straight up confusing. And look, it's like, I'm okay with games being complicated, but if you're gonna make it like more confusing than it's worth, I just can't do it. Yeah, oh my god, by the way, Monday today sucked completely. This was a office day for me, and I already hate Mondays as it is, and that one was even worse. Mondays that are also office work days are the worst thing ever. The U after the S is often, but not always silent. Not a single YouTuber pronounces Yasuke the same. GG is an insult to old men. GG sounds like it. Oh, GG is like old folks. Ik was dra in dak is uf her ik hal. That's is that Swedish or Ik was dra in dak is uf her ik hal. Hale or hal? I don't know. It looks something Scandinavian to me. It's close to German, but not. Unless you're talking like it's a completely different language, like, it's really funny. I've noticed when I'm just listening to languages that are like Scandinavian languages, and then I listen to something that's like Arabic based, I'm like, there's some weird similarities here. I don't know. You guys are gonna have me saying some shit that I really shouldn't be saying. It's Drow. Oh, that's Elvish. Dude, it looks like Scandinavian, man. Like some sort of Scandinavian language, like Swiss or Swedish or something. No, it's really funny because I like a lot of Swedish metal. And so when you actually listen to the Swedish words in a lot of bands, or like if they're Swiss bands or whatever, and you look at the lyrics and the parts that are either in Swedish or other languages, and you go, I was pretty good at German for a while. This makes no sense to me whatsoever. Hungarian YouTubers say Yasuke as Joska, basically the Hungarian version of Johnny. Interesting. I don't know. I got no words for any of it, guys. I have no idea. Hey puppy, you need to go pee? Come here and say hi real quick. Come here. Get you on the big screen. Drow language is based on Norse, Icelandic, and Dutch. Well, that would explain it. Say hi, puppy. Say hi. That's how we poked fun when the Swedish and Norway started saying shit we just used to stop with the Elvish. Oh my god. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. Like, that'd be like if you had me trying to speak Klingon. I'd probably think it was some other language that was a real thing. All right. I might have to get the dog neutered. He was trying to hump one of the cats today. I'm not even kidding. And it hasn't been an issue so far, but apparently he was bumping and grinding on the cat. So that's not gonna happen. You want to stay up here? Okay, he doesn't want down apparently. Yeah, his name's Bourbon. Don't ask, I didn't name him. I got him from my mom, she named him. I would have given him a real dog name, but she went with Bourbon because that's what she was drinking at the time, apparently. You're glad someone picked up on the language? I mean, honestly, for me, I always wanted to learn Elvish from like Tolkien from Lord of the Rings, but he loves that cat way too much. Like not even kidding. So him and my boy cat, the 12-pounder, the one that runs the house, the two of them will chase each other around the house playing. But my cat's sister, who's half his size, can't really fight him off. So your cats hump each other, yes, but that's within one species. So they're lesbian cats, okay? Having my male dog humping my female cat just feels really wrong, you know? Just saying. All right, guys, I'm gonna hit the hay. I need to get some sleep. I have no idea tomorrow night if I'm streaming with that gal or not. If I am, I'll drop a link on Discord and on YouTube to her stream. Otherwise, it might be Wednesday night, so I'm not sure. I might have to take Wednesday night off. But I'll let you guys all know. Your female dog humps male dogs. I've had female dogs that lifted their legs to pee. My last dog, she was 13 when she passed away. She was a pug, and she was very, very masculine. And that dog used to hike her leg to pee on everything. I'm talking, she would mark her territory like a male dog. It was the most retarded looking thing you would ever see. But that's just how she rolled. She was very butch. I mean, pugs are already kind of that way as it is. But yeah, she was something else. All right, guys, thanks for all hanging. Zav, thanks for dropping in, man. I got to check on you more often. I'm sorry, dude. I've just been really busy. Did I tell you that Jordan had twins? Zav, I think I might have mentioned it. He's been super busy. I need to text him too. All right, guys, I'm hitting the hay. I will or won't have a video out tomorrow. I have no idea. But either way, stay safe, and I will see you guys on the next one.